We enjoy talking Stanford football, college football in general, with Don King from Last Word on College Football. I'm looking over David Shaw's record here. And what stands out to me is not just the continued excellence, but just that, the continued excellence. So Jim Harbaugh did a tremendous job at Stanford, but he was there and gone. We're looking at now a 7-year track record of just 2 seasons under double-digit wins.
Yep.
And constantly competing for the division championship. Let's see, I'm going to count up 5 division championships in 7 years, constantly playing in the Pac-12 championship game and in major bowl games, or if not a major bowl game, an Alamo Bowl against a very quality TCU team, one of the better non-New Year's Six bowl games. So where would you stack up the program versus how you considered and kind of placed this program in David Shaw's second or third year? Has he kind of arrived at a place where you and the rest of Stanford Nation would be very, very satisfied with where it currently stands and would continue to play?
Yeah, you're going to get a good range of opinions on that particular question. Personally, I give him pretty strong credit for sustained success in the program. And, what Harbaugh did, I have no idea if Shaw could have done that or not. No idea. Because that was really remarkable, taking a 1-11 team and then turning it into a 12-1 team, 2-3 years down the road, which he obviously parlayed to a big job in the NFL, and kudos to him and Godspeed. But what Shaw has done since then, the first couple of years, everybody's like, yeah, okay, but you still got Andrew Luck, and that was a Harbaugh guy, and come on, man, we're not going to give you too much credit for playing really well then. And then the Kevin Hogan era started, and Stephon Taylor's like, yeah, but those are still a lot of Harbaugh guys. You still got the Castro blocking and these studs up front. Those are all hard. Well, you can't say that now. I mean, we're almost 2 full recruiting cycles removed from the Harbaugh era, and the team is still really competitive. Now, is he too conservative at times? Yeah, a lot of Stanford fans will tell you that he is. If you take the shackles off, play a little bit harder, don't be too afraid to try to pad a lead when the offense is playing well and turn the defense loose. Things like that. You can always criticize that. However, the health of the program and the interest that he gets year in and year out from the NFL, and the caliber of players who leave the program and go on to play well in the NFL, and most importantly, just the position for people to be really disappointed with a 9-5 season. That is not something that is a foregone conclusion at a place like Stanford. And honestly, there is not a coach in Stanford football history who has put together 7 consecutive seasons as strong as what Shaw has done. Is he going to be able to get over the hump and get into the playoff and compete for a national championship? We'll see. That's the hurdle he has yet to climb. But I would say if you were to compare him to the first 7 years of a Saban or an Urban Meyer or just about anybody else, my guess is that he would compare relatively favorably. Got to give a guy a little bit of room for growth here, and we'll see if he can do what he needs to do to get over the hump and take the team all the way to that elite level, not just the very good level for a sustained period.
Urban Meyer hit it running pretty quickly. He had 2 seasons at Bowling Green. He turned them into a winner, went to Utah within 2 seasons. He's going undefeated. Then he goes to Florida within the 2nd season. He's winning a national championship. Nick Saban, and it's resulted in something like the 3rd or 4th best winning percentage in the history of college football. Now, Nick Saban had some mediocre teams at Michigan State, and that was his first big job. Then he went to LSU, and they took off pretty quickly. So it took some time. So if you would, measure out his coaching record through 7 seasons, I'm guessing David Shaw has one up on Nick Saban taking the first 7 seasons. I'm looking, Don, at the final rankings for David Shaw going back to 2011, his first season with the Cardinal. How many, if we did a rankings breakdown, if we averaged the ranking per season, how many schools in America would average better than whatever this averages to? Number 7, 6, 10, not rated, but very close to 3, 12, and 19.
Yeah.
A handful.
A very small
That's
handful. It's
that's
really
Alabama,
solid.
Ohio State, Clemson, Florida State territory.
That's right. And even in this past year, not even Florida State, and you can't even throw in a Michigan State or Notre Dame. Those teams were both 4-8 last season. Before bouncing back to be a little better in 2017. So, you know, eh, many of the criticisms that people will levy, game in, game out, are kind of reasonable, and it's hard to rebut all of them. However, if you take the longer view and you look at the health of the program and the ability to recruit against the most stringent academic requirements in all of FBS, and the development of players into folks who are very productive at the highest level in the NFL after they leave school, and the highest APR graduation rate in the entire nation, in that strenuous academic environment, the health of the program is very, very good. It's very clean, it's well run, it's organized. We don't have a lot of off the field shenanigans or anything like that are distracting or disturbing. Honestly, on balance, I'd have to say that the Stanford faithful really should feel very good about what Shaw has been able to accomplish. And the last hurdle is to just, to not gack up that one game per season that takes a Pac-12 champion Stanford out of consideration for the Final Four, and then go and play and compete for a national championship in both of those rounds. That's really the last hurdle, and that's, people aren't going to be 100% satisfied until that gets done, and I think that also is reasonable. But I do think that he has the ability and now the experience, and he's gaining enough wisdom that I certainly hope that over the next year or two or three, we'll see something like that happen.
Don, I'm going to clarify the statement I made, because I've learned doing this and getting the comments that I do that I've got to be very measured with what I say. Okay, I am not saying that Stanford has eclipsed the programs that I named. I am saying that if we averaged the rankings since 2011, that those are the only programs that I pretty much know for sure would have an average ranking better than Stanford since 2011. Those are the ones that I know for sure. There might be one or two more. Oklahoma. That's about it.
I think you're right. Yeah, I'll agree with you there. So if we get roasted, we get roasted together. So I'm with you.